Budget and Appropriations Committee. But suddenly, I heard the Honorable Nyamita say that since he raised the question on the 13th of May, it is now towards the end of June. But suddenly, 10th of June cannot be towards the end. It is not towards Honorable Nyamita. 10th of June cannot be towards the end of June. But nevertheless, your concern is noted. Yes, Honorable Nyamita.
Mr. Speaker, whereas I appreciate the feedback from the Chair of Defense and Foreign Relations, I think it would be justice if the committee at least looked into the matter instead of generalizing and saying that I think, in this House, the Chair cannot come and say, I think that petition when we have, they are seized of that very question that I asked. They need to find out the details. If then it requires the intervention of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, Mr. Speaker, where I also sit, then he will bring it. But to just dismiss it without even having the benefit of looking at it, I think we might be directing it to the wrong committee. Because mine was not exactly as a petition that you had earlier raised. So I just want to urge that probably they look into it, they find out facts, because it is them who can be able to tell us whether the respective department has lodged an appeal. Instead of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, we will not be in a position to go and check whether, so that is the work of the committee, then they can direct it to.
You can get that. Honorable Katolo Mitito, can you bring on Thursday a specific response as to whether or not, in respect to the question raised by the Honorable Nyamita, whether the state did appeal, and if they did, the status of the appeal for the comfort of the honourable member by Thursday.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Nyamita, my good friend, knows very well that this is a very, very serious committee. From 13th May, we just came back the day before yesterday. We resumed on 8th. And so we haven't really failed to bring it on time, but I will go with your direction, Mr. Speaker. Thursday next week, we will respond to Honorable Nyamita's statement. But I was not really thinking. I'm being told by my good friend here, the member for Kiambu, that I'm not allowed to think. But Mr. Speaker, I am very certain that the end game for all these petitions on ex-army officers is a consolidated petition to be decided by the Budget and Appropriation Committee. But nevertheless, I will respond as directed by you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Nominated member Osotsi, you have an intervention. What is it about?
Mr. Speaker, just like my good friend...
KRA were ready to come. Honorable Osotsi approached me. He told me he was not available on the day and that I should postpone it until a date that he is available. I am just waiting for him to come back.
Time as to the question.
Honorable Osotsi, the same way that you approach the chair to postpone is what you should have done. But to come and raise it here is to put the committee, to cast aspersions actually on the committee that they are sitting on your question. And that's the point. The point being made by the Honorable Wanga is you approached her to postpone the question. And she says she was waiting for you now to go back and say when it is you are available. Now you come here and start saying that the committee has not responded. Yeah, actually, you should actually apologize to the committee. Honorable Osotsi. Apologize to the committee. Apologize to the committee.
Mr. Speaker, it's very clear that I've been in touch with the Chair of Finance, whom I respect a lot. It's only that at one point I was not available, and I'm sorry for all that confusion. But, Mr. Speaker, through your intervention, I would still request that if opportunity is available, I would be very keen to get responses to my question, Mr. Speaker.
In the same way you approached her, go and approach her to set a date for the question to be answered. I think, honourable members, let's proceed with business. This you can see now, members think is an occasion for, I don't know what's the cause for excitement. Because you can see you may have forgotten because of the long holiday. You see, the Honorable Osotsi forgot he is the one who requested for the postponement of the question. Honorable Jaldesa, what's your intervention about?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had earlier pressed an intervention before you apologized. I appreciate it.
Very well. Leader majority. Yeah, he has apologized.
Honourable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Monday, 7th of June 2021, to prioritise the business for consideration. Honourable Speaker, I wish to officially welcome members back from their mid-year recess that was held from 13th of May 2021 to 7th of June 2021. It allowed departmental committees to consider and discuss the budget estimates for the financial year 2021-2022 with the relevant government ministries and state departments and other government institutions according to their respective mandates, and make recommendations to the Budget and Appropriations Committee. Honourable Speaker, I'm delighted that Budget and Appropriations Committee has tabled its detailed report for consideration and adoption by this August House in accordance with Standing Order number 235.5, and I wish to commend the committees for their diligence in finalizing their work within the tight timeframes. I'm also happy that committee chairs and members have begun making their contributions on the floor of the House regarding the budget estimates. Honourable Speaker, today we welcome the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Planning as he makes a public pronouncement of the budget highlights and revenue-raising measures for the government for the fiscal year 2021-2022 in accordance with Standing Orders number 25A and 244C. Honourable Speaker, during the afternoon sitting of Tuesday next week, we shall have the following bills being read the first time. Number one, the Trustees' Perpetual Succession Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2021. The Perpetuities and Accumulations Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2021. And the Certified Managers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2021. Honourable Speaker, we shall also continue consideration of the report on the budget estimates for the financial year 2021-2022 for the third and final allotted day. Once this is concluded, the House shall continue debate on the motion on the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the national government for the financial year 2017-2018. Honourable Speaker, members will recall that we amended the calendar of the House to hold evening sittings on Tuesdays and Wednesdays starting from next week until our next recess in July. As such, during the evening session of Tuesday, 15th of June 2021, that is the session beginning from 7 to 9:30 p.m., we have scheduled the following business for consideration. Number one, in the Committee of Supply, in accordance with the procedure provided for in Standing Order number 241. Two, the second reading of the Waqf Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2019. And number three, a motion on the report of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on the inspection visits to ascertain.
By the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Mrs. Anne Amandi, and other judicial officers, and please they are seated in the diplomatic boxes. Honourable members, seated at the public servants' benches are other distinguished guests from the National Treasury accompanying the Cabinet Secretary this